let's move you guys from there to the planet. And
hopefully it won't be too busy.
alright, so this is your planet from orbit. For the sake of... what is wrong with my... for some reason my audio is not working. Let me turn up the volume. Hopefully that helps. Okay.
Oh, that looks like a rather inhospitable planet.
Well, it looks like that from orbit. It does have, believe me, it does have an atmosphere. It's actually, now that I think of it, I probably should find another image. It doesn't look like that from the surface. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually, before I do that, where is... there we go. Alright, so hopefully I got the right notes. Basically, your directives are to do, other than the prime directive, is to build the campus and discover any new life forms on the planet. So the preliminary survey scans of the... do I not have any other... well, I'll just use that, that's fine. The preliminary survey scans of the planet before they had to leave because of a external threat in the Gamma Quadrant, which has now subsided, is that it's habitable, Class M, and that it basically, you know, with some hard work, obviously, it could be made into a great Starfleet base or Academy annex. This will be the first Academy annex in the Gamma Quadrant. The year is 2401, so it's been a long time coming since the wormhole was discovered. So let's see. I'm gonna need Josh. You have been lately, ever since you guys left Deep Space Nine, came through the wormhole, and spent another few days flying towards this planet. Josh, you have been pretty much sitting co-pilot with Mr. what was his name? I think it was like Asrod or something like that. The pilot, Ensign Aslod. I always call him Asrod. Maybe I'll change his name. And so you've learned a bit more than normal, because you've actually had some training, some real life training there. Ensign Aslod turns to you, who, by the way, is now completely fine. Says, "Would you like to set the standard orbit, Mr. Vilo?"
Oh, it'd be my pleasure.
Alright, go ahead and make me a reason and con roll. Difficulty 1. Alright, you guys get a momentum. And...
where's that momentum at right now?
sorry, what was that?
I was asking, does anybody know how much momentum we have right now?
Well, at the moment you have 1.
Okay.
You don't keep momentum over sessions unless it's like a specific two-parter, which I've distinctly decided not to make this part of the last session, because it's technically starting a whole new adventure slash story slash mission. But anyway, so yeah, you guys are orbiting. You have a momentum. You've got your other vessel, your other transport ship, right there with you, as well as your escort ship, which is currently patrolling. It's kind of patrolling a bit further away from the planet than you are. Mac, would you prefer Cadet Johnson or Instructor Runa to roll a scan? Sorry, I had to do something real quick. Mac, you there?
Yeah, I'll go with Runa.
Alright, go ahead and make a Reason and Science scan, or Reason and Science, difficulty 1, to get a preliminary scan of the planet and its surroundings, specifically the solar system itself. And this, actually, I'll roll for the ship on both the con roll and this roll.
How do you get tacos out of pot roast?
I don't know.
Alright, so you got 3 plus, so that is 5 momentum, so you're up to 6 momentum. So at the beginning of the game, you've already basically gotten to almost full momentum. Awesome.
Nice.
Yep. And yeah.
It's a long game. Let's screw it up.
So now we're going to need one of the security officers to make a perimeter scan of the solar system to ensure that you guys are the only 3 ships here. Who wants to volunteer? I think Karava's not here yet.
Yep.
So, okay.
It's between myself and Corvinus. So if Corvinus is not available.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. Would you want to do it?
Yeah, why not?
I'll roll for the ship. And I'll say, normally I would let one person assist, but due to the amount of momentum you guys got, I don't think you need it. So yeah, the ship did not assist.
Wait.
It's going to be Reason and Security, difficulty 1.
Alright, reason security, difficulty 1, understandable.
And you got it. There does not seem to be any ships in the nearby sector that you guys are currently in. The closest ships that you can detect are further out and conducting normal trade, business, or other things, but definitely nowhere in your vicinity. They probably know you're here, but they do not seem to be interested in the least. Now I'm going to need a medical or science scan of the life forms on the planet, and this is where we get to create our first alien life form or plant. I guess it could be either one. Someone can roll Reason Science or Reason Medicine.
All right, do we have a science person or?
Well, you got a science person, but they've already rolled, so I'm giving the medical people something to do.
I guess that's me then.
It's better off medical.
Yep. It'll be Reason and Medical.
All right, so
difficulty 1.
Yep. Difficulty 1. I don't see a focus being used here on this.
Probably not. Well, you got xenobiology, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, use that one.
Okay.
And
So complication range is 1, and we use cash roll 2. Hopefully this goes well.
And however many successes you get, 3. Wow, okay. So we're going to make, instead of giving you momentum, we're going to make 3 life forms. So do you guys want to do 2 biology, 1 botany, or reverse? 2 botany, 1 biology. I know 1's safer for sure.
I don't know if... Well, please, Yukina, carry on.
I would say I personally think we should do 2 plants, 1 animal.
That's my thought as well. Less because of safety and more because that way we might have a viable food chain. Unless we want to go really fun and we go plant, herbivore, predator.
Well, we're rolling for that, so we'll see. So what do you want to do?
2 plants and 1 animal.
All right.
Yeah.
2 plants, 1 animal. I need anyone to roll a 1, 2, 3, a d6 and tell me what you get.
Shot. 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have the animal is a large herbivore.
Good.
Yep.
Which makes sense with having 2 plants.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
If we had a predator animal, I'd be suspecting we re-rolled because otherwise the food chain collapses.
You know what? You rolled a bug there too, Ruda. I'm gonna say one of your plants is a plant-based bug. So let me go ahead and write that down. So this is actually a plant that has evolved into I guess it would kind of look like one of those praying mantises. Instead of actually looking like a leaf, it actually has leaves for wings. So that'd be cool.
Ooh.
All right. So now we need one more plant. Who wants to give an idea for another plant?
What about a 5?
Probably need. Well, the 5 isn't unless you want a plant-based reptile. That's not gonna. The roll is just for the animals.
Yeah, we need something. Again, just thinking about stable bios and I'm thinking about
something that's like a large tree-based type of plant, probably.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking, or maybe bushes.
A tree with like fruit or something like that.
Something edible. Okay.
Fruit with a bit of a spicy bark.
Okay, so we'll say tree / spicy bark / fruit.
I like the fruit. Yep.
All right, so
that gives a little bit of fruit.
Yep. So now if you lose your Starfleet rations, you can go out and scavenge for either large herbivores or plant-based bugs or tree with spicy fruit.
This raises an interesting question about the large herbivore as well, considering it is large, does the herbivore eat the fruit of the tree, or is it truly terrifying and eat the tree?
Or does it eat the bugs, because they are plant-based as well? It is large, so I'm going to guess that it probably is somewhere in the middle, and that would be my guess. But we'll come to that in a moment. Mac, because I know Mac, you know about this. Someone pull up the GM emulator and then let me know when you do. I'll put the link in the chat.
I got it. It's out.
Okay.
It's open.
All right. So.
Yeah, Corvinus has got it.
So I want. The question is, does something happen specifically, like maybe a meteorological kind of event occur on the planet at this time? Something to make things a bit interesting as you guys are trying to land. So go ahead and ask. So the chaos level is going to be still 5 because nothing is really going on. The odds, I'm going to say, are 50-50 because it's a new planet. There's no way for you to really know one way or the other. And then just let me know if is it a yes or no.
Extreme, yes.
Ooh.
But there's also an event. Focus,
Oh, no.
move away from our thread, meaning adjourn trials.
All right. Can you copy and paste all that into the chat? Because I'm better with reading than hearing. Like, I only got half of that. So cool. So we're going to have to think of what that could possibly mean. If not a storm, then it could be, maybe a, what's it called? Like a geological event, maybe earthquake or something of that nature.
I think if it's going to interrupt flying, maybe a volcano with a large ash cloud.
Volcano. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe a volcano with a large ash cloud.
All right, so we're moving away from a thread, which basically means what your directives are, which is build campus or discover life forms. So something is preventing you from doing that. I'm going to say the
How
life
about
forms.
high temperatures on the planet?
Yeah, which prevents not so much the campus, because we're at the moment you guys were scanning for life forms. So we'll say that, let's see, adjourn trials though. What does that mean? Adjourn means to, if I remember correctly, like pause or go to, give me 1 second.
Yep.
I was thinking something like when it rains, it gets really, really hot.
Maybe, but this is an event rather than a permanent feature.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
It's like if a volcano, an earthquake, or tsunami.
Ooh, we could have a tsunami hit our landing location.
Everybody roll up new characters. We're dead. All right.
We haven't landed yet is the whole thing. It's just our landing location is now no longer feasible because a tsunami just
All right, I'm back
Yeah.
for a bit, but I've got to go for about 10 minutes to handle some family stuff. If you guys want to think of what that could possibly mean, I have decided that is whatever it is, it's going to affect you guys is scanning for life forms, since that's what you're doing now. But as far as like the actual event that happens down there, you guys can figure that out. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
You know, he did say the plant-based bugs. What if it's like a locust thing?
How about what's it called? Like an atmospheric event. Like something is in the atmosphere, like the volcano. The ash could like mute our ability to scan.
Yeah.
Plus, we
Because,
could actually roll that. Oh, you first, Mac.
Basically, with some volcanoes, they can even reach up to certain heights of the atmosphere and actually spread across the globe and prohibit like landing, scanning down and below, and all that.
And
But
with
depending on how
volcano,
massive and how big it is, and this is supposed to be an extreme thing. Last time, just to point this out, last time we had an event that big on the planet Earth, it took over 100 years for that to clear.
Yeah.
I mean, we could scale down the volcano. I don't know if it's going to be that big, but even if it is that big, it might be an opportunity to put in an extra fascinating little feature about the planet, because Starfleet sensors are going to be pretty gosh darn advanced. A smoke cloud or an ash cloud from a typical volcano is not going to stop them. So, what if the spewing of the magma was throwing interesting particulate matter up with the ash cloud, which suggests that there's some kind of interesting substance beneath the surface of the planet?
Yeah.
I have an interesting one because shit, that should not be that loud. Fuck, sorry.
Basically, what if the event is like it doesn't live up to like 100 go away 100 years? It just
What if
basically the event is like it's like our 100-year event, a volcano thing, but
yeah,
it doesn't do the same effect as it would back on Earth.
yeah. I mean, that's possible. Here's an idea, because the volcano isn't a bad idea. Maybe the whole idea of the volcano and whatever else is going on is caused by something else.
Like?
Something very dangerous.
Like?
Omega particle.
I think that might be a bit beyond our scope at this stage.
Hey, you know what? They come and they do what they want. We don't get a choice normally.
If it's the Omega particle, then best case scenario we destroy it and leave. Worst case scenario we go with it.
Hey, I was just throwing something that could be pretty interesting out there.
I think an Omega particle would less cause a volcano and more just delete the planet.
Well,
Yeah.
Possibly. Could also be somebody. Could also be a person or being on the planet that's just fucking with things and having fun. Who knows? But yeah, I mean,
I also
Or
think it's a bit
natural.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
natural is the best way to go.
event.
I'm thinking you guys are right about that. Natural.
Yeah, let's not bring the Q in at this stage.
I wasn't talking about the Q. I wasn't talking about Q, but there are other creatures out there.
Yeah.
How about a solar flare?
That could also cause a
Maybe
lot
that
of
could do
problems,
it.
especially magnetic problems.
Yeah. If he doesn't want it to be a feature of the planet, but a feature of the solar system, that works just fine.
So because depending on how the magnetic forces and whatnot are of this planet and the solar flare hitting it, it could cause us to lose propulsion, could cause a lot of issues. So we have to go into emergency landing and other shit like that.
Which would probably move the story along just fine.
Or it has like one of those random volcanoes like, oh, I'll just spew lava at odd times.
Do you mean
But
the
don't
Hawaii
destroy-
volcano?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But it
that
doesn't-
one. Yeah, that's a hotspot volcano. Yeah.
Like, I don't go around destroying the planet, but go around just spewing lava because I feel like it.
Commit a fucking Vesuvius.
Yeah, I see often erupting, unpredictable volcano. I think that this is the time for a truly insane geothermal energy. We shall control this volcano! I know that's not how it works on Earth, but this is Starfleet, darn it. We shall harness it for our own purposes.
Yeah.
Who
Starting
made
off
you
with
the
an
explosion
erupting
to the
volcano
ground?
just seems like also seems a bit much to start off with.
The shorts, I guess. Yeah. But then
I'm watching acrylic paint being
what?
and they poured it into cookie cutter and twisted. And they're adding more. Yes, I'm watching.
If you, what's even more funnier, if you ever ask Johnson if we could even harness the lava to cause create a power source, he'll probably go, yeah, we could try and find a way. Anything's possible.
You know what's funny? The plant that we created is pretty much a cinnamon tree that grows apples.
Yep.
Are you sure it's apples?
Yes, we mentioned apple-like fruit. So we essentially now have cinnamon apples.
Zero objections here. I love apples and I love cinnamon apples. Sorry.
Does that mean that the apples taste like cinnamon at that point, or?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was the bark that was the spicy stuff.
Yes, because that's actually how it works with the trees. It is normally the
Really
bark
do
which where you
believe
get the
that.
cinnamon. It's funny how people have no idea that where cinnamon actually comes from.
Just like how people don't know how cinnamon is actually hydrophilic. It's the cinnamon challenge was born.
Oh yeah. Because of how cinnamon works, it can also be used to help cauterize and close up wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep. I wouldn't recommend it unless it's a last resort, though.
But it
I
is.
wonder why.
It does remind me, just say you wouldn't recommend it as a last resort. It reminds me of, I don't know if it's still used, but a response from back in the day for if whatever reason you were exposed to Agent Orange, which was apply the exact chemical opposite of Agent Orange. Very simple, very crude, but it worked. The problem was, if you misdiagnosed the problem and applied that to yourself, the only way you could stop it from destroying you is to find Agent Orange and apply it to yourself immediately.
Oof. Top
So in
10
other
oof.
words, it worked quite well.
Still an oof,
What?
nonetheless.
So, can we get a vote on what natural event is going to take place?
Okay, all right, I'll run it quickly. We've essentially boiled it down to volcano and solar flare. Those who prefer solar flare say aye.
Aye.
Yep, got one. Those who prefer volcano say aye.
I
Aye. The ayes have it.
But the solar flare sounds
Oh,
so
yeah,
much more.
the volcano has it.
Event, correct?
It's just more funnier having a fucking mountain go kaboom boom.
Yeah,
Really entertaining.
it's more
No, no,
entertaining
It's a
than a
possible
solar
power
flare.
source. It's a possible power
Yeah.
source.
That same that one movie?
Yeah,
It also
but
provides a
landing,
perfect way to
landing and
negate
buil-
the thermal.
yeah, but landing and
activity.
building the academy next to a freaking volcano.
Yeah, it's going to
We could
inspire
land
all
somewhere
kinds
else.
of nightmares that I can help with.
We're just asking
Yeah.
for
Y'all don't know how Iceland fucking handles their fucking volcanoes.
we are just asking for a freaking Pompeii situation to happen.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you want a Pompeii situation. Got it. All right, let's do it.
Do it.
You said it.
No.
No, seriously, have y'all decided what you guys want to happen?
Volcano.
Volcano.
You actually want a volcano. Okay. Someone roll a D100. Someone roll. Let's see how extreme this volcano is. Roll a D100. Okay, not too bad. It's on the other side of the planet from where the because when the surveys made before you guys got here, they had suggestions and recommendations of where to put the base, and so there's like a certain area on the planet where you guys are looking at to put the base down, and it's like nowhere near it. It's bad, but if it was in your location, it would have definitely ruined the area. But it's on the other side, and the most you have to worry about is some ash floating over, or maybe some tectonic issues. But it's not going to ruin your day like a 100 would have. All right, so you have that now. We're going to have Vilo, Cadet Vilo, if you want to land the ship. I'll ask you, do you want to do it, or do you want to assist the Aslad in landing?
I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you decide, control or insight. Insight, because it's going to require some instinct to get through this alien atmosphere. But if you think control is better for you, then that's fine. All right. So you got one. That's yep. Let me roll for. I'll roll for a slot as he assists. And his control is gotta be good because he's a pilot. His con's only a 3 though. Alright, and so you got 2. Let's roll for the ship. Engines con. Alright, so you guys get, where are you guys at momentum wise? 6?
6.
Yeah. So let's put that up to 8 then. And you guys are going to fly over. I'll say that the other ship, the other transport is like right behind you. The escort has moved into more of an orbiting position. And you begin to kind of hover or, soar above the planet's ground, so to speak. You get in there and you land, and now I need, let's see, is our engineer here? I believe we have one. Tali, you're our engineer, aren't you?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you are going to be, let's see, let's see. Josh, I would say by now, Mr. Tanner is recovered fully, more or less. Would you like to, if you look in your, let's see, and PC instructors, you'll find Lieutenant Commander Tanner. If you would like to lead this engineering endeavor to set up this base, I'll let you decide how you want to do it. You can do it by delegating, in which case it will be presence and engineering. You can do it with your intelligence, which would be reason, or you could physically get your hands dirty, which would be control. What do you think Tanner would want to do in that situation?
Oh no, he'd be part of it. So yeah, he wouldn't make everybody. He would assist with the work. He wouldn't sit back and delegate.
Okay.
He's not that type of guy.
So if I could get Tali, just roll a control and engineering and tell me how many successes you get, and Tanner can roll an assist with a control engineering as well, and we'll see what we got. This isn't going to give you any momentum. This is going to see how far ahead you get into the construction, and just let me know what you got. I can take the first one. It's fine.
Nice. I got a 1 and a 6.
Okay, so 3 successes and 0 from the assist. Josh, what's up with Tanner? Why did his assist fail in this?
He's still
feeling a bit
foggy.
woozy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever fully recover or not. They say he is, but
They probably, he's probably fine physically, but no one really knows the brain, 100%. So there's probably still something going on mentally. I'm sure just from PTSD alone, it's pretty, he's probably telling people, yeah, no, I'm fine, but behind closed doors, he's probably sobbing into a Haagen-Dazs ice cream or something.
Definitely.
But you guys do get through. So I just need you to look at the screen and tell me where you would like to put. I'll let Tanner lead this since he is the senior officer. Where on the screen would you like to start basically put the headquarters of your base, of your academy campus?
Do we know where the volcano is?
It's nowhere near where you. It's not even on the screen. It's nowhere near you. It's the worst thing it did was affect some scans from your ship as it was coming in, and that's pretty much it.
Tanner was bigger that he needs water, but somewhere near the midland, so maybe just kind of in the center, like somewhere here.
Okay. Does anyone? I will let anyone who wants to pipe up with their opinion as well.
Just to ask a couple of questions about the map. I see there are little blue squiggles in between what look like the large lakes and also smaller lakes. Are those flowing rivers?
Are you talking about? Hold on, are you talking about like these things?
Hang on. So yeah, like those things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe those are rivers. I'm calling them rivers because that seems like a good idea. Do you want to?
Excellent. And
so it looks like.
Is it?
I was just gonna say it looks like where he is deciding is between 2 rivers, which would be good.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, those are
and
having water sources.
I think a
are these
lovely lake
rivers...
view would be good for people's mental state.
Well, indeed. And are these rivers either relatively safe water or something that can be filtered into relatively safe water, or is this truly alien liquid that bears no resemblance to water?
Well, it's definitely H2O because it's Class M planet. But as far as like particulates and diseases that it might have, who wants to get on the GM emulator and roll another 50-50? Is it drinkable as is basically how I would phrase it. This isn't a post-apocalyptic game. I'm not going to go too deep into the mechanics of water drinking, but as long as it says yes, then you're good to go.
All right. What's the all right?
Just is it drinkable? Chaos level still 5. Is the water drinkable?
Yes.
All right. So does anyone else have any ideas as far as where to put it, or are they fine with Tanner's kind of? And Tanner, go ahead and click where you want it. You said you wanted it again, just so I know for sure. Because I'm over there. Okay. So yeah, is everyone good over here?
I just don't know if we should
fine.
go I don't know if we should do that or closer to a bigger
Yep.
water
Bigger
source.
lake, right?
I don't, because if there's any type of algae or fish, that could also add to a food source for us.
I didn't think it was that. Yeah,
And the
anyway.
psychological effect of a cool summer breeze blowing across the campus.
Yeah, I mean, you could put it both between
Yes.
a lake and a river, which would be, you know, like somewhere here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Right there.
Okay.
And are these brown patches higher ground or?
I mean, if I, because I don't even remember what site I got this from, but if I am to recall properly, yes, they are like hills, plateaus, things of that nature.
Okay.
Which in that position you'd have like cover from like 75% of, you know, directions basically. I mean, you're between a river and a lake, and also like plateaus or hills that's to the south. So unless someone came from the northwest, you'd probably be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that there, just for my own, you know, brain. Actually, you know what? I'm also going to type headquarters there, so I do not forget what it is. And this is like super vague and generic until I actually physically make the map, which will happen. This is like just a general idea of it. This isn't like so like each of these squares or each of these hexes, I believe, is like 10 miles or something like that. So obviously your headquarters is not going to be 10 miles, you know, wide, but that's just like a general idea of where it's going to be. Or is it 5 miles? It might be 5 miles. Either way, it's not 5 miles, it's not 10 miles. It's just, that's just the general arrow of where you're going to be. All right.
Not yet.
So now that you guys have set up your headquarters, you got, I believe, 3 successes. So we'll say, what other two buildings do you think is necessary? So headquarters, for those of you, none of the cadets are ever going to be really in headquarters unless absolutely necessary. Headquarters is for like, if this was the actual campus, it would be where the commandant and the chief of security is, and all that stuff. And so there's no actual classrooms yet, unless that's one of the things you want. You did get 2 additional successes, so if you want to add a classroom, if you want to add a sick bay, if you want to add you know, an armory, you guys can decide which 2 things you want to add.
Where we're sleeping.
Barracks? Okay.
I was going to say, yeah, do we get barracks and cantina standard, or do those also have to be built separately?
They are built separate. So barracks would be, I would say that barracks and, like, you know, showers, things that would go normally with like accommodations, residential accommodations, can all be one thing. But like cafeteria or a mess hall, cantina, whatever you want to call it, that would be separate, because traditionally in a military base you have to literally walk quite a distance to get to the mess hall. So so we've got barracks, headquarters, and one more thing.
This is an alien environment, and somebody else said medical, which I think is quite sensible, particularly if we are a long way from help.
Okay. And just to remind you guys, whatever you don't have immediately on the planet, you do have ships. So, like, you could run back to your landed ship until it's completely disassembled. Basically, if you don't say sick bay, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you disassembled sick bay already, so now you have no sick bay. I will assume that you don't disassemble what you don't have. And I will only say that the ship is completely disassembled when the entire base is set up. But infirmary, I'll write down. All right. So now you have a headquarters, a barracks, and an infirmary. I need someone to roll on the GM emulator to see if any other seismic or meteorological event occurs. This will also include animals, plants, disease, and things of that nature.
Extreme no.
All right, so everything is going great. I would say it's probably halfway through your day at this point, which is quite an accomplishment for building 3 buildings out of nothing. But these are modules. Basically, they come pre-packed on your ship, so it's not that it's not, you know, crazy or out of the norm. I need someone to roll another d6 to decide animal, plant, or something else.
1.
So 1. All right. That is gonna be me looking through my notes. That's another bug. So So we have a plant-based bug. I'm gonna say this bug is gonna be more of a flying insect, similar to, like a dragonfly or something like that. I'm guessing that you guys don't want it to be like a wasp or something that can cause pain.
No.
Well,
no mosquitoes, please. Do not say mosquitoes.
No, don't worry.
Alright.
I would never in my entire life have a game with mosquitoes in it or spiders, so you don't have to worry about those two things.
Hell no!
Exactly.
Right.
You don't want to deal with that.
No, we don't want to deal with that at all. Alright, so I'm going to say alien dragonfly. We can kind of come up with a actual, like, what it is and what it does later. So now I'm going to need a science and medical combined scan. I don't care who assists who. I just need one person to roll medicine, one person to roll science. And you can use insight or reason. And this is basically you scanning individual parts of the planet. So like, let's say an expedition is sent out into the forest. You're scanning insects, you're scanning plants, you're scanning animals. And then however many successes you get will be how many animals or plants we create.
I'm happy to do the medical scan.
Okay.
I can only do medical myself.
Okay. Either way.
I can do science.
And you did do science. So I need the medical cadets to roll. Each of you roll 1 dice. Nothing from Snowpaw. 1 from Dorton. So you have 2.
Cadet Johnson. Cadet Johnson's with them.
Johnson's
helping.
doing it? Okay. So I need someone to roll a d6 to actually I need someone to roll 2 d6s to discover if it's a plant, an animal, bug, flying
Roll
thing.
4 and 4.
2 4s.
So we have 2, 3, 4. 2 large herbivores. This planet is just large herbivores out the ass.
Which means when we get a predator, it's going to be a nasty one.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a sugar.
All right.
Something has to keep this planet's ecosystem in check.
It's obviously
That's
a
what
natural,
we're here
peaceful
for.
utopia.
Until it
Totally
isn't.
a naturally peaceful utopia. Totally.
All right. So we've got.
Although we haven't rolled it yet, since we've got so many large herbivores and a tree, can we assume that there's some kind of grass or moss equivalent on the planet?
Yeah, I think, total we have 3 large herbivores. So I would say one of them probably eats like the trees. It's probably elephant sized and it just loves the bark. And the other 2 are eating like the moss or the leaves. Maybe we have something like a giraffe that can reach up really high, or something of that nature. But yeah, basically.
Spicy bark.
Oh god, you and your spicy bark. So yeah, we got one thing that eats moss and leaves, and grass, and others that eats the actual bark of the trees. Alright, so now we are going to look at security. I want one security officer to roll an insight in security as a task to determine, and keep in mind guys, you do have momentum, to determine how safe your current situation is. Making sure no predators are coming in, making sure the storm, the ash cloud from the volcano is sufficiently far away. And then the other security personnel, if there are any at the moment, can roll 1 security dice of either insight or reason or control. You can decide from any of those 3.
I can do that one.
It'll be insight and security for the main roll.
Rolled.
I can do the second one.
Alright, so it looks like Nostra has got 2 successes already. I just need an assist from the other security personnel.
So it's just 1 dice?
Yep.
It's just control security?
Yep. Or insight or reason. Either of those is fine.
Finding actually part of a bunch of stuff that they never realized that their fans did. So that was interesting.
I think.
And alright, so you have 3, and what about Soth?
Oh, yes, I can absolutely do that. I just thought it was only for 1.
No, in this case, you're all on patrol.
Alright, insight security, have a local foci, here we go.
Nice. So yeah, you definitely are able to ensure that the environment around you is safe. You're able to coordinate with the escort ship with scans in orbit, as well as the system itself, and everything just for the moment seems perfectly fine. So training instructor Merzek, this is probably dinner time at this point, is going to call everyone to formation. And everyone's supposed to line up and prepare for a meal. However, because the mess hall was not set up, you guys are going to be eating rations off the grass. So, yeah, have fun with that. If anybody wants to have a scene with another character or role play a scene out, go ahead and let me know, and I will let you guys do that. If not, we will continue past dinner time.
I'd love to get a group of people together, knowing that they'll need some recreation here, and arrange some sort of game or activity with the smallest of the large herbivores.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. All right, so now I need someone to get the GM emulator out and ask. I've already decided that the biggest of the large herbivores that eats tree bark is basically elephant size, maybe a little bit bigger. But I need someone.
The elephant.
But I need someone to roll to see how dangerous it is, because some herbivores, although they don't eat meat, they get spooked really easily. I'm looking at you, hippopotamus, and decide to charge at their victims. Sorry, what was that, Corvinus?
I'm looking at you, rhinoceros.
Yep.
Especially if you mess with the babies.
Alright, rolling. Let's see. Are they dangerous? Bet.
Maybe if we can cycle and actually let that people heal.
Extreme no.
Okay, so you find the largest of these herbivores in the woods, and these things are like playful puppies. Like, as soon as it sees a new person, it charges towards you in kind of like a bumbling fashion, and like nuzzles up against the nearest person, and it just does not want to leave. It's going to take a lot to get this thing to leave you guys alone.
Can it be Johnson?
Sure, it could be everybody. It's big enough.
Because Johnson will let it come near him and won't let him go.
I'm going to ask if this might have anything like essentially look or be able to produce like a cow does.
You want to see it? Check out its reproductive system. Is that what you said?
No, not reproductive. More of if it milk like a cow.
Oh, milk. Okay, I thought you said produced. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
I did say produced. I was thinking about milk.
Yeah, gotcha. No, I got you. You know what? That'll be another GM emulator question. Does it produce milk? Yes or no? 50-50. Chaos level 5.
Okay. It's a no.
No, it doesn't. So it is definitely probably more closer to elephants than because I think they produce milk, but not for for their own. Like, actually, I don't know. Do they? I guess they would have to, right? I mean, I would assume all mammals in some way do, right? Because I don't know. I'm not an animal person, but apparently not this one.
Maybe it's a giant herbivorous reptile.
I guess it could be. It could be laying eggs. In fact, you know what? Let me write that down. It's a large herbivore reptile. Playful reptile.
And yes, elephants do apparently produce milk. It's apparently incredibly rich.
Okay.
And eaten by baby elephants for the first 4 months of their lives.
Cool. Well, I like the idea of this being a large dinosaur type thing, so we're going to call it a large reptile that basically, does the egg thing. All right, so...
It's like a freaking, what are they called? The really weird mammals that lay eggs. There is one.
What is that?
The platypus.
Platypus. Yeah, I was going to say, that's the weirdest thing ever created, so it's probably that. All right.
Faces with God on his DeviantArt face.
Platypuses are really cute and really adorable.
I'm sure they are. All right.
They're weird as hell.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to need another science and medical scan of the ecology Oh, actually, let's do engineering because it's been a second since we did engineering. This will be the next morning. I need a control and engineering from Tolly, and I need a assist from Tanner with either presence, control, or reason, or insight. Basically anything but daring.
I got a 7 and a 3.
All right, so that's 2 successes. And what about Tanner?
Working on it.
No problem. Let's see, engineering. 2 plus.
Take control or insight?
Or no, control and engineering, or insight and engineering, either one.
Oh, yeah, I just didn't know if control or insight. He's assisted. Right. Yay, assisted.
So you got another 3. Do you guys want to include a mess hall with this one?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'll write down mess hall, and what else? You were able to.
What do we already have?
Sorry, what was that?
What do we already have?
You've got the headquarters, the mess hall, the barracks, and the sick bay. So you could
What's left to build?
You could build classrooms, which is going to happen eventually anyway. You could build like an armory for the security. You could build like science labs. You could build. Trying to think back to my military days to all the things we had. You could build a motor pool for ground vehicles, which is going to happen eventually also. Pretty much whatever your imagination can come up with.
Just make sure nobody steals the elf in the motor pool.
I'm either thinking the armory or the science labs, because those seem to be the most important.
Yeah, I think those two. The motor pool can wait until we actually have something to put in a motor pool.
Okay.
And
yeah. Well, this planet is entirely peaceful. I think it could be the science lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need an armory. You'll be fine.
No. You have nothing.
I think we should try to set up both the science lab and armory just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case. Because you don't know what you're gonna come across if there is any predator animals.
Right.
We haven't came across any yet.
Could we spend momentum to build 2?
Well, you've got 3 total, but if you want to spend 2 momentum, I'll say that you can have a 4th one. You guys have full momentum.
Is that 4 choices? Yeah, is that 4 choices in this slot, or is that 2 now and then the 2 from the previous slot we've already taken up?
No, the stuff you've already done. So I'm saying you have you rolled. You got 2 successes from Tolly, and then you got 1 success from Josh. So that's a total of 3. So if you want to have a 4th one, then you can spend 2 momentum to get the 4th one.
Okay, so armory, science lab, and in order to prevent horrible infections, we should probably be eating in a safe place. We should probably be eating in a mess hall, yeah.
Okay. And does anyone want to spend momentum on a 4th one or no?
Can I? That's up to the group.
Yep.
I think we should for an armory.
Well, you've already got the armory.
We've already chosen that one.
You've got the armory, the science lab, and the mess hall. So you can do classrooms. You can do the motor pool. You can do like a kind of like an engineering setup to where you got all your tools. Like whatever your imagination can think of, you can make happen.
An engineering setup.
Engineering.
An engineering setup would be beneficial.
Okay.
Of those, yes, engineering. But does the HQ building have reliably good long-distance communication, or is that something that would need to be built separately?
You would have communication between the buildings and anyone like in the vicinity of the planet, but you will not have communication to like Earth or anything like that. It's basically really localized. So if you wanted to do that, you would have to have if you wanted contact with Earth, you would either, because eventually you're going to get rid of your ships, the transports anyway. You'd have to build a satellite, and you'd have to build like a communications building specifically set up for that, and then you'd be able to basically just hit a button from anywhere on the planet and be able to send a message through the wormhole to Earth.
Okay, we'll do satellite later. So yeah, engineering will help us get those things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we'll say
Would we have the ability to build a small spacecraft just in case though?
I mean, not really, because building a spacecraft is a lot more difficult than like prefabricated buildings that you're currently setting up.
Once we get the academy up, they will probably send us.
Oh yeah,
things.
you guys are
So,
like the vanguard, like the advanced. You know, they're sending more stuff. It's just gonna take a few weeks to get there, and they just wanted you guys to be the first people to like set everything up. The other thing you
Yeah,
guys
we're
need is
sitting-
a power distribution center, so you might want to consider that as well.
What else we need is probably a defensive, essentially a wall or a gate or something like that.
Well, we'll have to get those in the next round. We filled this round.
Yeah.
But yeah, in
No,
the
I'm
next
still
round,
waiting on the
power and
fourth one.
walls. It was engineering.
Okay.
I
it's
think
engineering.
power might be more important than the unpowered
Yeah,
engineering.
you're not going to be able
That's
to
just
power a
me.
force field or anything like that without a power distribution center.
Yes, I agree with that. We need to get that up and running too, which means we'll probably have to dismantle the warp core of one of the ships to get a power generation. But this is a medical person saying this, not the engineering person. So
yeah, I would say the engineer would, and Tanner and yeah, and in fact probably also the con officers. You guys would know that a single fusion reactor that is used for the impulse engines would be more than enough to supply you guys with power for like years. So you don't have to immediately take down the warp core if you don't want to. But it's like I said, you do need power before you can get any kind of force field perimeter set up around you.
Well, that's in the next round.
So you just want the engineering center for right now?
Yes.
Okay. And
That's the fourth choice, yeah.
All right. So that I'm going to include like a tool warehouse in that and everything like that. So all right.
Without the knowing where all the equipment is, we can't set up the power.
All right. All right.
This is true, but without power, medical is very basic.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So I need someone to roll a d6 again. We're making another baby. I mean animal.
All right.
I got it this time. I got a 3.
All right. 3 is because I never remember these things. A 3 is 2 small to medium mammals. 2 small to medium mammals. So, ideas. So small would be like a mouse. Medium would be like a horse. Large would be like a gorilla or something bigger than that, and then like massive would basically be like the elephant.
For one of the 2 mammal slots, taking the larger end of it, the horse end. Since we've got lots of herbivores, I'm thinking maybe a pack predator that goes for the larger herbivores.
He's trying to get his cadets killed. Okay.
So basically, a wolf-like predator.
All right.
Yeah.
Is everyone cool with a wolf-like pack predator? That will definitely in no way haunt you guys in the future.
Right.
Knowing the GM, it's going to haunt us in the future forever.
Yes, it would.
I mean, if you guys don't want
Thanks
it.
a lot, Edred.
I wanted to make it
I'm
spicy.
super fine
Yeah,
with people
Edward.
having things haunting their dreams.
Yeah.
You have
We'll
you have a
just-
counselor in
we'll ju-
training. Don't worry.
We'll just shove Soth in front of the wolf, so it's all good.
Hey, no, Soth will just channel what he did on the zoo planet and basically just go, the hunter in me has awoken.
All right, so you got
Start
one
laying bait into traps.
canine, pack canine. What about the other one? Small to medium.
I
so it
got
could
an
be anything.
idea. A small one. It would be like a tree mouse that has like the ability to glide,
Ooh.
like those flying squirrels or
Yeah.
something like that.
Flying squirrel. I'm basically gonna put. I'll make sure all these are sufficiently
Thanks a lot.
alien.
Our food supply is going to be gone.
The squirrel just shows up, grabs your food, and flies away. All right. So now, because we do have a predator, I need a security to make a patrol. So that's going to be a reason or control in security. I need one person to make the main role, which it looks like it's Corvinus. And then I need Edgeford and Caraba to make the assist.
Okay.
Roll.
Nice.
It's
So you
too
got
late to use momentum.
4 successes so far. All right, you got 4 successes. I will say that both Corvinus and Carava on your patrol, you're like at the, let's see. I'll say if you're looking at the map, you guys kind of head over in this direction, and you happen to see a pack of these wolf-like creatures devouring one of these large predators or large herbivores. Sorry, but they don't seem to notice you, and they kind of, when they're finished eating, they kind of bugger off in the opposite direction. So you will definitely probably need that force field up sometime today. All right, so guess what?
I'm glad I mentioned defense.
So, where is it? Training instructor Merzek goes to Vilo, and he says, I need you to take one of the security cadets on the ground vehicle and check out the terrain to the south, see how high it goes, see, what you can discover, do some scans, and come back and report what you find in a couple of hours.
Okay, which cadet would you like me to take?
Either security cadet. I don't care. Just don't let them get eaten. Or
I can't
they
make
shouldn't
any
let you
promises.
get eaten. Sorry, that should be the opposite. Just drive really fast.
Just drive really
Not a
fast in a
problem.
place that you know nothing about.
Really fast.
All right, so who's going with him?
Oh,
Yeah, that's for
Sothel-
volunteers.
Soth would enthusiastically volunteer. This
so,
sort of
so
like
would Crava.
Well, you can only take one, and South has already volunteered.
Corvinus called me about-
Don't worry, you
Corvinus
two
called
will
me
have
about
plenty
it.
to do. All right, so I'm going to need a con roll, control definitely from Vilo, and I'm going to need Soth to make an insight security roll. If you have constantly watching, this is probably the best time to use it.
it's not Tiba, he doesn't have it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens. And these are two separate
I
rolls.
will, however.
You don't need to assist each other.
We've still got full momentum. What's the difficulty of the roll?
For the driving, it's 2 because you are going up some inclines and some loose rocks. For the security, and it's also 2 because it's an alien planet and you don't really know what you're looking for, except for wolves.
Soth is very anxious to put in a good performance, so I'll consume 2 momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, and Milo doesn't want to look. I mean, he is the best, so he wants to buy a dice too, just in case.
Okay, just in case. Of course. Oh, wow. All right. Now I need, Corvinus, since you have the GM emulator open, I need you to roll to see, do they get attacked by alien wolves?
Oh, wow. When I put get eaten, that's an order. I didn't know if I told you that yet or not.
You could keep it 50-50. Chaos is still 5. And then just let me know if it's a yes or no. Are you there, Corvinus?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Didn't hear you, so I was just making sure.
Alright. Rolling. Alright, I'm gonna do that. It's a no.
Alright. You get lucky.
Right.
And as for that insight roll, you realize, because it's such a great insight roll, you realize as you guys were driving and driving south towards these plateaus and hills, you realize that you did notice some of these alien wolf pack kind of creatures in the dense forest. However, they do not seem to go anywhere near the kind of more open areas of the plateaus or the hills. They seem to pretty much, and then when they hear the engine of your vehicle or see you, they kind of scurry back into the woods. They definitely don't seem like much of a threat outside of the forest. So as long as you're not like caught unawares in the woods at night, you should be fine.
Well, Soth will definitely note that. A little sort of smile goes across his face as he's glad to be back out in countryside doing this kind of stuff. His mind goes to his youth, but that's the whole thing. But he'll also make a note that this might just be general hiding activity rather than them only staying to the wooded area. and that it may be that they mostly come out at night. Mostly. So he makes a note to observe their nighttime behavior.
Okay. Just writing down something. Don't mind me. All right.
Can Johnson go into the water to see if there's any fish?
Sure. He goes into the water and begins burning. No, I'm just kidding. But he is an android, so I do need you to make a fitness and command roll. Just because it would be funny for an android to fall into a river and float down it until he gets to the lake. Difficulty's just 1, though. And you got it. So yeah, now we need to see if there is any. I need someone to roll a d6 to see what kind of fish, or even if there is a fish, because there just may not be any. We'll say 1 is no fish, and then I'll let you know what these other 5 are.
No one else is going to jump in. I'll do it.
All right, we got a 4. So this is a large herbivore fish, so it's not you don't have to worry about piranha or shark, at least in this instance. It is about the size of I would say a small tiger shark, so it is pretty large, as you could tell it's flowing down the river directly towards the lake, or in the direction of the lake, so this is probably more of a transitory location for it. Probably doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the river, and it's by itself. Do you want to try to grab it so you can eat it later, or are you just going to admire its beauty?
It's gonna go, look, there's a fish! It's it looks like a tiger shark! It's beautiful! He yells it out to everyone.
And they all ignore you. Okay.
A fish, huh? I've heard that story before.
Oh.
Alright, let's do another engineering roll. We control engineering from our engineer cadet, and then an assist from Tanner, and then just let me know how many successes you get.
Alright, I got a 1 and a 7.
Alright, so you got 3, 4, 5. You got 5 successes. Alright, so that means you get 5 buildings, more or less.
Okay,
Power,
so
first.
Power, okay.
Yeah. Power, fence.
Force field.
Power, fence.
Okay.
Okay, we've got science.
You still need classroom. I know you guys are avoiding classrooms because you don't want to learn stuff, but you kind of are going to need that.
No, yeah. Well, we wanted to live first. But yeah.
What's left out of the options?
Like I said before, whatever you could think of, but the main thing that's left is like the communications for the satellite and the classrooms. And if you want a motor pool for ground vehicles or shuttles, then you can make that. Everything else is kind of just up to your imagination.
Like in classrooms, as suggested, the communication thing, and also something that will be good for education and training and drills, is we probably need some kind of holosuite, even if it's just to do drills in or do other forms of training exercise in.
So
also important for mental health.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the ships that you came on did not have holo projectors, so this is going to consume 2, because it's going to take 2 resource points essentially to create a working holodeck or working holosuite. So you could
still be bringing some of those anyways.
What was that?
I just voiced it. I think that that will come in time anyways.
Okay, all right. We've got 1 left.
It will come in time, and plus it will give Johnson something to do as well, because he needs to learn holosuites, how to make him, holo programs.
How about like a resource gathering area? That way we have resources for things.
Storage, you mean?
Okay, yeah, we could do a resource storage facility, natural resources, studying and storage.
Yeah. And on that theme, at some point we're going to have to do a survey for those resources and exploit them.
Of course. Speaking of which, science, it's up to you to make a reason or insight science scan. Medical, you may assist. This is to study the plants and animals more closely, as well as just the general environment you're in, to see if you can exploit any of this. Alright, looks like, Runa, which one of your characters rolled that one? Or Mac, which one of your characters rolled that one?
Johnson.
Okay. And anybody else?
Johnson.
Do we have any other science or medicine-minded people?
I was not helpful.
I'm medicine.
All right, if you want to roll,
Am I rolling for medicine?
just one dice. Yep, insight or reason and medicine.
Let's hope this goes well.
Ooh, nice. That's 4 successes. So I will wait. 1, 2. Yeah, 4 successes. So how about this? For 2 of those, for that critical success, you actually find an herb that is very good at healing. I don't know anything about medicine, so I'll let your imagination come up with a logical, scientific reason for that.
Something that would be something very similar to marigold. It deals with stopping infections and other things. I actually know a lot about this stuff.
Nice. So yeah, you basically got a herbal remedy, a marigold remedy, and then you have 2 more. Would you like to study the plants or the animals more, or something else? Maybe the environment, like the atmosphere or the minerals, whatever you guys want. Just ask a question and I'll answer with those 2 other successes.
As a medical individual, I would like to maybe try to study or try to understand what type of pathogens we have around us that we need to be aware of.
Okay. Whoever has the GM emulator open, can I get a? Is there any pathogens around? I'm gonna say this is very unlikely, considering there was already a preliminary scan, and you guys have already been on the ground for several, almost 2 days. So if there was something anywhere near you, it probably would have taken effect by now. But yeah, go ahead and roll that and let me know if it's a yes or no or what.
All right, rolling. No.
You said no?
Nope.
Okay.
I said no.
All right. So yeah, as far as basically what you determine is there are, and I don't know what the scientific term is, but there are diseases and things, but it's constrained to like certain species. So like the flying rodent can't deliver like rabies to you guys. It's basically just constrained to itself, and this seems to be a global thing. Like even though technically, since you're aliens, it should be to this world, it should be easier for you guys to get sick. It looks like for some reason there is no pathogens, at least probably nothing that would cause more than a sniffle or a cold or something. Basically real low level stuff. All right, one more question.
All right, what's the question?
Well, not for you. I'm just saying for you guys in general. Like, do you guys have another question?
I'm thinking mineral deposits. Yeah, that's always useful to know.
Okay.
Is there any minerals around?
Anything that you guys can use? All right.
Yeah.
Or that we need to steal the hell away from.
That's a good point too. Something that might be hazardous to your health. Get rid of these tables. Give me one sec. There'll be more. Okay. All right, that was just my brother bringing me pizza. So I think this is going to be another GM emulator roll. Is there any useful minerals? And then just go ahead and roll immediately after that. Is there any hazardous minerals? And let me know if it's a yes or a no on which of those.
All right, first one is yes.
All right.
The second one is okay, hold on. I got a yes, but there's also an event.
Uh-oh. All right, what is it? Event occurs. Move away from thread. Move the public. Oh, guess what, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone got sick.
You got to move. That river had some pollutants in the minerals deposits. Johnson, you brought it back with you when you came out the lake, apparently. So we're gonna have to move it. Pick another hex to move to. This will definitely be like the whole of the third day.
It's because of Johnson saying that fish.
All right. Pick one.
Since we are largely unpacked, repacking everything, loading it into ships, which are partially deconstructed and flying it a long way, may be impracticable. So we should probably stay close.
Yeah, it's just the hex that you're in that's the problem. Everything else seems fine.
Yeah.
Maybe up this hill.
That's still got a river in its corner, so there is nice and sheltered. Still got river access and lake access.
So like right there?
Defensible location. That also works, yeah.
Like I said, this isn't like super accurate, obviously. This is just like a general idea of where you guys are. But yeah, so you guys spend all of the third day moving after you discover that some minerals in the soil by the river are toxic for some unknown alien reason.
I'll spend the day soothing tempers about Johnson.
All right.
Well, if it wasn't for Johnson, you wouldn't have found that poisonous minerals.
That's true, but...
Yeah, because we always want poisonous minerals.
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for Johnson's doing what he did, you would be like, why is everyone getting poisoned?
Alright, I need a security role. So, I don't care who is, taking on the main role, but the others can assist. It can be reason or insight, either one.
Rolling.
What's it for, just in case folk know?
Yeah, same as before, patrolling, perimeter scans, etc.
Okay.
Alright, I think we need one more roll. I think it's from Karava.
Oh, yeah. Just the patrol security?
Insight or reason?
Insight.
Okay.
Ooh.
That was the control security one.
Oh, you're right. Alright, so you got 2 successes. So you guys, GM Emulator does the pack animals attack because they did move, so they probably made a lot of noise. And it'll be 50-50, chaos level 6 now because it's things are getting a bit dangerous.
No.
No, okay, so you once again you see that these pack animals during the day remain in the they're awake, so if they are nocturnal, then for whatever reason they're waking up during the day. But you do see them in the woods. They come out briefly into the field area, but when they notice you or your vehicle or whatever, they kind of disappear.
I don't like the noise of the vehicles.
They're still afraid of us for now.
Oh, quick question. Do we still have routed through... Oh, sorry. Do we still have routed through the ship transporter capability?
Yes.
Right. Okay, good. So what I'm thinking is that Soth will gather a couple of people, volunteers, and with a training instructor approval, who are stealthy, to go out at night and attempt to observe the nighttime behavior of the creatures without being detected, so we don't disturb them. And then if for whatever reason stuff goes south and we can't outrun them, we can transport to safety.
Okay. Do you guys, when you do eventually do another engineering role, do you want to spend one of those successes on a dedicated transporter room? Because right now you're just using the ship. Okay.
I'll volunteer to be the transporter.
Okay. So let's get another engineering roll real quick from Tali, just so we can say we did it. That'll be control engineering, and then Tanner can assist with either presence control or insight.
I got a 1 and a 4.
All right, so you have 3 successes. So I just need Tanner's roll, and that's all right. So you get 3 more buildings.
0.
All right. So do you want one of those to be a transporter room?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then you need 2 more. What's the other 2?
Okay.
I would like to suggest an R&D department.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Anybody disagree, or is everyone good with
What
that?
Yep.
I think
What
it's
about
pretty good.
I would suggest a
Communication.
recreation building of some sort.
Okay, recreation. And Mac, what were you saying?
I was saying communications. Do we have that?
Yeah, you built that last time. Well, you built the comm shack.
Oh,
You haven't built
okay.
the satellite yet, but that will come later.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so recreation room. What we could just call we could just make the actual rec room, and then we could focus on a holodeck at another time. Is that what you guys are saying?
That's what I like, a gym and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
rec
yeah, yeah.
space, kind of.
Nice. So I'll just combine those rec room / gym, because I know some rec rooms don't have gyms and vice versa. So, all right. So you've got that built, and just for my
Was there one more?
No, you got 3 buildings: a transporter room, R&D, and the rec room.
Okay.
But just for my when I make this later, do you guys want a kind of sprawling facility that you guys walk to and fro, or do you want everything pretty compact? So for when I make the map, I know to do that. Which would you guys prefer?
Sprawling, so we can actually have plant life as well.
Oh, okay. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
we're the only thing
Good
on
for-
this planet.
Soth will
See, it's good for
carry on.
it's good for your mental health if you have a garden where people can
Right.
sit
Yeah.
in nature.
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
happy to be taken
something like-
by. Oh, please carry on.
Actually, building a garden is not a bad idea, especially one where we can harvest fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be, and Soth is happy to be taken by the majority decision. And I know we're going for the sprawling, but just in character, he would make a case for something smaller and tighter because it'll have smaller internal lines and be easier to defend if something goes wrong, or we can dash about more easily. But in the face of opposition, he will quietly acquiesce.
Well, at the moment, it's 1-1. Nobody has made it, other than you two. Nobody has made any arguments for anything. So I'm waiting for the tie.
Oh,
to be
I
broken.
agree with sprawling.
Okay. And is everyone fine?
That's your local therapist's opinion.
Is everyone okay with sprawling then, or does anyone want to argue?
No, I want the other one.
The compact. All right. So 2-2.
2.
Compact.
All right. 3-2.
I'm gonna have to go with sprawling, not because I wanted to tie it up, but because of I know there's gonna be more people right now. This idea of that we need compact is more of just because there's only us here right now.
Right.
But as we know, we're gonna have a lot more people coming in the future.
Yeah.
So,
When you bring that up, Soth
Yeah.
will agree with that analysis, but he'll say that this tighter area, he'll bring up sort of the old human Mott and Bailey castles ideas, in that there's a small center core, and then when we've got more people, we build another bit on the edge of that, which is relatively compact. We wall that, and then when there's more people, we build another bit on the edge of that and wall that.
Yeah, this isn't the size.
so-
I'm not
yeah.
talking about the size. The size can
Yeah.
change, but as far as like the placement of the buildings, would you rather walk a few meters to one building, or would you rather have it more of like immediately walk out and then there's like 5 feet and then another building?
Basically, I prefer to have it at least 10 feet because it means there can be more plant life inside there and more breathing room.
Yeah,
And
I get what you're saying, but let me draw what I'm saying, because I think some people are confused by what I'm trying to say.
essentially, in some ways, you're talking about is do we want it a compact city type of situation,
Right.
or do we want it more like a small town situation?
Basically, yeah. So, like, let's say this is your headquarters that I'm drawing right now, and then you've got your comm shack, and then you've got your gym, and then you've got this, and then you've got that. Or do you want it more like, chunk, 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 chunk? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not how the distance or how much per se. It's just the kind of where things are placed. So yes, in a compact situation, it would be, at least at the moment, it would be more defensible, and it would be quicker to get from place to place. In a sprawling situation, it would be that it's got more of the greenery, it's got the longer distance for exercise or whatever, and everything like that. So it's not like you could always add more. Give me my circle back.
Also, the other situation with compact means if we have a situation with any type of fire or anything else in that way, it will spread a lot easier between the buildings versus.
Right.
Then you have to think of people's mental health as well as That's why I suggest the exploring city, because there are some people that would mentally break down if they were.
Yeah, and we have a 3-3 tie, and so we haven't heard from everyone. So I just want to hear from the people who haven't voted yet what you guys think.
Personally, in case there were a fire, if it were sprawling, it would actually take a lot longer for the fire to spread across every single aspect of the base. However, if it's compact, although it'd be quicker to try and catch the fire, but it will also give the fire a lot more quicker capacity to spread all across. So it is technically a double-edged sword for both ideas. So honestly, from how I got used to the whole Navy base back then, I don't mind sprawling, to be honest.
So we're at 4-4.
Holy shit.
And just so you guys know, as far as like the fire and the defensibility and mental health and all that good stuff, when I make it a game, if that happens to come up naturally, then I will include it regardless, and it will make sense regardless, and you'll have, you'll be able to, if an invasion happens, you'll be able to defend it regardless. If it is compact, then there will be a dedicated central garden that everyone can go to for mental health. Like, I'm not going to make it completely 100% one way or the other. What I'm asking is, when I design it for my sanity, which would you prefer, so that, because I'm not doing it again. Once I design it, I might add stuff, but I'm not recompacting it or re-sprawling it. So this is something that, from a player point of view, you guys would prefer, and we can include all the other stuff regardless. So like, saying compact is more defensible, okay, great, we'll just extend the force field a bit more to make it, you know what I mean? Like, there's always ways around these other situations that you're talking about. So we're still tied. Is anybody want to be the tiebreaker? I don't think we've heard from Z. In fact, I haven't heard from Z in a bit, so I don't know what his character's up to, but and I think
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. I think Karava, maybe you voted earlier, I don't know. But yeah. So Z, what do you think, since I haven't heard from you?
Compact.
Okay.
There you go.
So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we got 9 players. Great. So we're going with compact. And this also doesn't mean that when you do make more buildings in the future or whatever, you can't make them a bit farther away or whatever. This just means that for my sake, when I make the map, I'm not gonna make it so much of a bunch of roads and stuff. I'm just gonna put buildings and then have you guys walk across the grass towards the buildings rather than trying to make these long roads and intricate things. That's all I was getting at. But I am taking all of your advice or all of your opinions into account as far as like the fire, the mental health, and the defensibility and all the other stuff. And I will be considering that when I do eventually make the map. Actually, I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. Defensibility, mental health, and a fire. And was there anything else? I think those are the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So it is going to be compact. And again, that doesn't mean you can't put other things further out. It just means when I make the original map, it will be a bit more compact. All right. So I think at this point, you guys are in your... let me delete all this. You guys are starting your 4th day. And then, when I come back, I will make an actual... Oh, I shouldn't have deleted that other one. Yeah. There we go. But when by the time you guys come back, you will have like an actual map there for you guys. Is there anything that anybody wants to do? Does anyone want to make any more animals? Does anyone want to add any more buildings?
Actually, yeah, I want to make some plant life, because I think we just kind of discarded that one a little bit.
Yeah, I think you guys made like 3 plants. Yeah. So we have. Let me go back through my notes because I know we have a tree, and we got some herbs that are good for remedies, and we have a plant that is actually a bug that's really a plant, so that's interesting. So you have 3 things. Anyone got any more ideas? Obviously, there's little things like grass, but honestly, I'm just gonna call it grass. You can change the color if you want.
Yeah.
Make it purple.
That's the big one.
Maybe we find something that is a new type of vegetable that we can harvest.
All right, vegetable harvest. All right, and
I'm thinking. Carry on.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you could bring that back to your resource location and start to basically build like a garden in the center, like we were talking about. And go ahead, Soth.
I'm thinking, so I'm just trying to get outlandish here for the sake of being outlandish, but I'm thinking, you know how mushrooms are actually huge and all connected underneath?
Sure.
Something like that, except above the surface, and much like some of the plants can actually move a very small distance across the ground in search of sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's this big carpet of a mushroom or moss-like fungus that slowly migrates across the land in search of more and more nutritious soil as it depletes the soil it was on.
You know what?
That is just going to be a pain in the ass later.
Yeah.
I love that nightmare fuel.
I love mushrooms to eat to begin with, but man, that is going to be a nightmare.
Man,
Let's just kill the planet.
I can't wait to tell my mom about these comically large shrooms, and she'll accidentally poison herself by eating them.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, this is why we have many herbivores. They keep them under control by eating them.
In fact,
that kind of makes more sense now.
Yeah, and also why the mineral issue happened to begin with was because of something. They, like you said, they're depleting the minerals or the vitamins in the ground. Maybe they depleted it so much that it was basically you wouldn't be able to harvest anything because of how bad the mineral deposits were in the ground. But Z, let me get Velik to roll a reason science, because I haven't heard from you as far as the science scans. I just want to see if he discovers anything.
Sure.
Oh.
And it'll be
Would xenobiology work?
Sure. And where are we at on momentum? Are we at 0 yet?
No, we're at 1.
Okay.
Are we at 1? Okay.
Yeah. And just so you know, you'll be starting from scratch at 0 momentum next game, so if you want to use it. All right. So, you have 1. All right. Go ahead and roll a d6, Velik, and then I'll tell you what that is, and then we can figure out more in detail what that is. 2.
I'll be right back.
Oh, finally, a bird. Okay, no problem. So you are Velik is Velik interested in birds? Is he a birdologist or whatever they're called?
Ornithologist. Not particularly, no.
Okay.
I mean, I guess he would develop an interest. I don't know.
I mean, he could.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like Velik is off doing his own thing, doing his like science, and then like a bird like just happens to land like near him and is like, what's this new life form on this planet that I've never seen before?
Right.
While I'll hit all the
Something
other. What was that?
Something like a vulture.
Yeah.
I was imagining a parrot that was copying what he was saying to it.
Ooh, yeah. What a vulture that could talk? That would be crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah, there you go. A vulture that talks.
All right, I'm writing it down. A vulture that talks.
Basically, you would have heard Johnson go, "Oh, a big ass fish, shark."
Ooh, good idea. Thank you for that idea. How about you, Velik? You find this big, this vulture is probably like almost the size of a person, but it doesn't seem like to care about you at all. And then it leaps back up into the air and flaps its massive wings, and then like dive bombs the river. And then that medium-sized shark that Johnson saw earlier, it's got it in its beak, and it just is flapping away. So it basically is like it is a actually hold on. Yeah, it is a carnivorous bird, but obviously the shark is a bit smaller than a person, so it's not going to go after. Plus, it likes the helpless fish in the river. It doesn't really want to go after someone with arms and weapons. So, I would also go ahead and tell you for free that it doesn't attack the wolves or obviously the herbivores on the ground that is bigger than it. So you guys think that you're probably pretty safe. The biggest thing
Maybe it needs the toxic mineral as part of its diet.
Yes. Fishes.
Yeah.
For
well, the toxic mineral could be the part of the mushroom's diet.
But I'm gonna be advising people as part of what I see as my counseling duty as just don't go swimming.
Yeah, the water's horrible. You guys picked a great place. You got big fish-eating birds, you got sharks, you got minerals that want to run you out of your neighborhood, and then you've got the moss that wants to eat the ground and possibly the people. All right.
Except Johnson. It won't eat Johnson.
Oh yeah, because he's an android.
So you think?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to develop.
If he's swimming, it might try.
I'll develop an animal that eats synthetic things. That'll work.
Yeah. The sort of the carpet mushroom. It likes the sort of.
Got it.
Likes like the latex in your system.
Question: Does Johnson have like a bioneural circuitry kind of thing? Like a part of it is any part of him actually biological, or is he strictly synthetic?
There is a Aren't you looking at his character sheet?
I can, but I don't remember like his brain activity details. Like I don't know if that's in there or not. I know he's got that little shard or whatever in him.
That's the power. That's his brain.
Okay, so he has the. But I don't think it's biological though, right? It's just it's like
No, it's a gem.
It's a gem, yeah. Well, also, why do you only have 3 talents?
Because the new character generator only gave me 3.
Yeah, first year cadets.
Everyone's like, thanks, GM.
No ability score above 11.
Oh, that was always a thing for cadets, but yeah, it kind of when I made the guide for cadets, like I wanted to do something like that anyway, so I did try to limit talents and focuses and things like that and values, but they did it way better. But anyway, all right, so unless anyone has anything that they want to do, I think we're about done here. You guys have set up your base. You've discovered a lot of crazy things. The vulture, after it's done eating, returns back to Velik and is like, by the way, what would Velik have said in the last couple of days that this thing could mimic? Live long and prosper.
That's the typical thing, yeah. I guess he would have said things like he would have opened his culinary book and just read stuff from it. So like how to minimize the effects of brainwashing or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay. I wonder if these birds can read too. That'd be interesting. I think that's too much though.
I don't mind him having like a mimic ability that he could like, say whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
That could make for nice.
Johnson will go.
Ah, yes, the comically large.
Brainwashing?
I mean, it's. I don't know. It's these things have already been said, so I don't know if it's now or like before.
It's something that you would have said after we've landed.
Yeah, something that it could overhear and mimic. That's why I was like, live long and prosper, because I was like, well, I'm assuming as a Vulcan he said that at least once since he's been here. Or one of their other phrases. Or just an argument that he's had with another cadet.
That is illogical.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's very logical.
There you go.
Or he just walks up to, or the vulture just walks up and says, I'm half Romulan, right? I'm half Romulan, right? Which really freaks you out.
If Johnson hears that, Johnson hears that, then Johnson's gonna go, ah! Just laugh. It's mimicking Velik.
Yeah, I got an idea. I want to go over to where we have our what's it called? The the transport area.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that our transporters are working properly.
All right, make an insight engineering difficulty. I'm gonna say difficulty 3 because it's been pretty low difficulty, low stakes this game, and it would be really interesting if the transporters just didn't work, or if they did and you thought they didn't, or something like that. So yeah, difficulty 3, insight.
I got a 10 and a 20.
Ooh. Yeah, you are. By the end of the day, you're like ripping out cables. Like, why doesn't this thing work? And then like, Josh, Instructor Tanner walks in. What does Instructor Tanner do or say when he sees this cadet ripping out EPS conduits, yelling about why this thing doesn't work?
Walk over and say, "I think you could have solved it by just doing this."
Push the on button. Yeah, and the whole thing lights up and then flickers because he's ripped out half its guts and then goes back offline. Yeah, so Instructor Tanner's just looking at this console like, yeah, this thing did work at one point. But
next time, the simplest approach is usually the best. You can walk away.
Yeah, and then oh, he named him. Hold on, let me write his name down. Named Toba. What does that mean? Is that Vulcan for something like peace or something?
Now it is. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything.
All right. But in short, yes, the transporter is going to work. So once you get the cables replaced.
One thing Soth will do, other than the nighttime exercise that I previously mentioned, is he will also, at a time when everybody's finished for their work for the day, before the evening meal, something along those lines, he'll find an empty patch of ground outside the little walls. He'll get pieces of spare pipe or something along those lines, set up very rudimentary goals, and he will attempt to, he'll invite the team and the various cadets to essentially play a game similar to rugby, a physical team game, to foster spirit and also just have a bit of fun, blow off some steam, improve bonding.
That sounds like a good way for it to get everyone to roll a fitness check.
Basically,
yeah, go ahead.
Johnson goes, "What about Toba? Can Toba
All right, I'll have Toba roll too. But if Toba gets a complication, I'm gonna say Johnson accidentally runs over him or her. By the way, has Velik figured out if it's male or female, or does he not care that much?
Doesn't care. Yeah.
Okay. 17 and a 4, so he probably bruises a wing trying to keep up with you guys. He seems very playful for a talking vulture.
Yeah, he probably doesn't understand teams or the rules of the game.
No, he just lands on your guys' shoulder and starts pecking at your head, and then goes and lands on somebody else and tries to peck at them.
So,
So I'll say fitness and security, or fitness and con, because it's going to require movement. So fitness and security is for the more brutal, and then con is for the more maneuverable people.
I am so screwed on both.
Whoa. I can fortunately I can re-roll that complication without having to consume momentum. There we go.
Yeah, and I did.
I'm going to try to use. Can I use composure as a focus?
Sure. What? Nobody has nobody has sports as a focus. What? You crazy?
What the hell did I miss?
They're just playing rugby out in the woods or something, out in the field. So
playing rugby.
Fitness and con, or fitness and security, whichever one.
If somebody gets a complication, they run into Johnson and end up injuring themselves.
Yeah, he accidentally clotheslines them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Soth got a lot of successes there, so I like to imagine he actually manages to shoulder check Johnson, and Johnson's like, "Oh my god, have I just been pushed over by an Andorian?" What?
Has been spectating this whole time.
He doesn't get injured.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Corvinus has been spectating, trying to make sure there's no fouls, hopefully.
Well, it looks like Soth. Oh no, Soth just got 2. Did anyone get 3? I know Soth, you rolled twice, but did anyone get 3 successes? No.
No.
Okay. Well, then I guess Soth and Velik end up being like opposing captains or something, and they're like, head to head, and I'm pretty sure Vulcans have like 3 or 5 times the strength of a normal human, so Velik probably wins against Ezra.
Oh, no, Soth will go down like an absolute madman, because not only does he actually respect Velik, he likes Velik. This kind of face off plays well into their relationship, but also it's Andorian v Vulcan. No. He's carrying the banner.
Oh, he is part
Andorian v
Romulan. Oh wait,
Vulcan.
that didn't help.
It's Andorian v Vulcan with a vulture. So,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
The double V.
Toba's gonna join.
And so he really goes tooth and nail for that one in the spirit of the game.
Let's see if the wolves join. Someone roll a chaos level 6, 50-50.
Rolling.
Do the wolves make this moment their time to attack?
Extreme, yes!
Yes! And that is where we're gonna end. And then next time we'll pick up from there with a wolf attack.
A wolf attack at a rugby game.
Yep, you can't get
the therapist was so careful not to leave the compound for the entire building of things, and then she goes out for the rugby game and gets eaten by wolves.
Everyone thought it was safe. Oh wait, no, you guys have the force field up, so
yeah, we do.
Yeah, let's see what happens. They probably just run into it and then you become enemies for life, probably. So be careful out there in the woods when you're scavenging.
Good.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. I know it didn't seem like a very story or roleplay heavy game, but this was actually supposed to be session 1, so we finally got there, and I think it was fun. But anyway, does anyone have any questions?
It was fun.
I will be sending information about reputation and stuff over DMs.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet. Then.
All right.
Well,
thanks for the idea, Soth, Neil.
Which idea?
Yeah, there's so many. What? What are you gonna?
The wolf's idea.
What do you mean the wolf's idea?